Alright peeps, welcome back to Split City. You joined me on top of the spiral about here where people are merging out of their own way. Look at our beautiful nighttime skyline we've got on the crack here. And it is an absolute beaut, like. Especially when viewed from the thumbnail position. What have we got going on over there? We've got all the bloody lighting bugs going on. Just flishity flashing all over the shop. Or is it because of all of our emergency services? That might be a reason why. Watch how fast these gone. Oh, look at them, they're bloody speeding along. Whoa! Nah, just finally enabled bloody speed 3. You know what, I'm actually curious where old mate's gone in here. Which direction are you going, pal? I'm gonna follow you real quick. Whoa, I need to be a bit quicker than that. They're going straight up the back alley highway. Ah, we caught them up because of the traffic. And beneath the back alley highway are the old Victorian tunnels. Mildly widened, but absolutely chock-a-block we're parking throughout the whole terrace there. Oh, I love how much that works. I mean, no, seriously. Look at how chill our traffic is on our roads here. There's barely any traffic. It's exactly what I hoped for. I do love the green, pink and blue flats there, like, I'm not gonna lie. They absolutely caught me eye. But anywho, look at the lack of traffic knocking about here, man. It's absolutely wunderbar. But before we get too much further, we need to sort out a little bit of flooding that we had going on. We do have water knocking about elsewhere, like this little roundabout and that. But I'm pretty confident that was just part of the surge. And the surge is, well, temporary and calmed down now. The primary issue is the fact that the key gun's down here. And that's where we're getting floodage from. So let me work a bit of move it magic. And there we have it. A proper tidy key. And the water has to get all the way up to here before it overspills it. But yeah, now, pedestrians, just enjoy getting your feet cooled. And you enjoy your free tyre wash, Mr. Caravan. Because this episode is not about Evergreen Swamp or Terrace Hills. It is about all of those, whoa, bloody big crash. Well, it's a good thing we're on a 3-lane motorway, isn't it? You can just weave your way through. Go on, Hearst, weave your way through. Anywho, we'll just zoom away from that. As I was saying, we're going to sort out all of these waiting for hearses because we actually are at capacity here at the Grafta split. 15 out of 15 hearses, treating 176 out of 150 bloody bodies a month. And if you have a look at the dedicated per district ones, they're exactly the same, 15 out of 15, an hour worked in the processing speed. Once it eventually shows the processing speed. So to fix that, I'm going to pop down 2 more crematoriums, 1 for Terrace Hills, 1 for Evergreen Swamp, along with filling out the industrial side of Grafta's split here. Look at all of this beach here that we're just absolutely wasting growing bloody chickens. They didn't even like the beach, look at them, man. Their feet are hurty, they're just gliding along because it hurts too much. It's so hot with the sun blasting on it all day. So the first thing we've got to do with revamping this industrial section is get rid of all the industry from over here. Be gone, industry. We're not allowed to have any pollutants over this side of the M2. All of the pollutants have got to come from this side. So this is the area we've got to work with. As you can see, it's pretty much filled already. And just like with the office side, I'm going to be wanting to plop in as many industrial signature buildings as possible. Don't worry about the fact I haven't unlocked any of them. That's not a concern of ours. Our concern is getting them all plopped in here, along with another 2 crematoriums. So in our industrial split here, we've got the Go Expressway that goes all the way around and connects onto the motorway over here. But it spits out our here, where you got underground, and where this little fancy roundabout is. And to avoid a sea of waiting for hearses, we need to have those crematoriums on the Gore Expressway, right next to one of these entrances here. We can't put it here because we've already planned all the way out, and this is an actual motorway. There is no zoning on the side of this. What I will say is there should be a bloody sound barrier all the way up here, but we're not losing any zoning from it. And I've used Find It to replop all of those buildings, that's why they're all a bit glitchy at the moment. But if we speed up time enough, they'll all start despawning, and I just have to quickly move them, and then everyone's happy as Larry. And I rotated them a wee bit so they're following the road as well. Well, now that it's very clear there's no zoning gun on the side of that one, the next closest spot is on the side here, or potentially on this side here. The only issue with this side here is we can't expand past the little farmer's track there. That's the edge of the map, and we are locked into our starting tiles, even if they are separated as such. So we can pop crematoriums here, or over here. And I'm thinking, I want to pop an hour here. Let's just pop them both down. Get them on. Say, old mate, you're just looking after Terrace Hills. And then old mate on the left, you're just looking after Evergreen Swamp. Let's get yous both upgraded with the additional incinerator. And I'm also going to be plopping an additional garage on each one of these. For Terrace Hills' new crematorium, we need to have it all the way squeezed to the right here. And I think, with snapping off, I can safely say, I'm happy with that. Then I'll move this one right beside it, like nowt's the matter. And I noticed at the end of the last episode, the hearses, they end up going back home this away. And I can only hope that these hearses don't cut across the middle and they go down and around as well. I want to make it a little bit easier for these peeps to do a U-turn here. So I'm going to whip out a one-lane motorway, have it doing a U-turn as such. Because we've got the tunnel gone underground, we just need a wee bit of a bridge and we'll be hanky-dory. Let's make this a bit of a bridge, shall we? I got too fancy with it. I'll be back. Well, that's that sorted. Move it wise anyway, we still need to do a little bit of traffic management here. Like saying that the Gore Expressway here has to yield to the Gore UE. And as per usual, none of these dodgy little crossings on motorways. And I've got two nodes that are broken. This one, I just fixed because I noticed it wasn't right. And then I imagine, yep, this one, because I noticed it had the dodgy little turn on it. Let's sort all of that out. Now, everyone gans which way they like. Well, that's us back to normal. Everyone's got their own little lane. And when these hearses come out, they can just do a quick UE. Well, now, my only concern is, can I bring this bloody specialised industry area back and not end up chopping that bloody... Ooh, it's gonna chop it. It's gonna chop it. Looks like we might have to have a cheeky little bit of fence inside the crematoriums. And as for the rest of these, let me get it as close to this excavator as I possibly can. And there we have it. A tidy little circle for it to excavate. Let me just quickly sort the tip out here. And by sort the tip out, I mean free up even more zoning back here. I mean, I'm kind of scared, but I need to right-click this. Let us right-click it. I need it to disappear. Yes, it didn't break the whole world. That is grand. Me bit excavator's still there, excavating. Now let us squeeze the landfill all the way out. And here's a little bit of lore for you peeps if you didn't know. The reason the motorway dips underground right on that angle there is the landfill, which is pretty full at the moment, used to go right to there. So we're going to try and do a little bit of a side action here without removing any zoning. Now I am especially proud of making it go all the way underneath the motorway bridge here. And the fence still goes all the way across the top of the tunnels there. Not to mention how it's managed to eke out next to this bit of industry. And look at that, with a fancy filled landfill comes some big old industry buildings. Well, I can safely say I'm happy with that for now. What I would like to sort out is making sure the hearse doesn't have to park in the fence here. And I mean, actually, does this building need the fences? Oh, let's sort out a little bit of custom action control P. Gimme fence. And let's do this properly. Get it all lined up and that. Oh, look, it creates a bloody gap. Alright, how big of a gap do we need? 8 metres looks bloody perfect. And look, we'll sort out the bloody overlap in a second. For now, I'm just lining up the shadows and filling in the fence line, even if they are two completely different colour fences. Now for this angle, I'm going to go just a single fence, and then I'm going to change the angle. Oh, look at that! The buckets just missed the actual bloody crematorium. But anywho, let's pop the fence down, fill in the gaps with probably a completely different colour fence. I love it, me. Then yeah, now is the time to start getting bloody fancy with it. And I've left a slight gap there on purpose. I'm going to say this is a side gate into the old industry from the hearse yard. You know, because the hearse yard's nice like that. Oh, and while we've got the sub-bulldozing tool out, before he gets there, gets caught by the hedge, delete that bloody hedge out the way. And there we go. Well, that should have these chilling. Look, 0 vehicles in use, 0 vehicles in use, 0 vehicles in use, and 5 vehicles in use. So we must have absolutely 0 waiting for hearses. I said absolutely 0 waiting for hearses. Especially... Oh, actually, we don't have any waiting for hearses in Evergreen Swamp. Fair dinkum. Oh, I think I might know where my hearses are. And of course it has nothing to do with dodgy mergers. It's all to do with the land disappearing. No, let's go up a bit. I just wanted to see the bloody skyline of the Grafta split. But we won't be able to see it until we get a little bit closer. And then all the proper effects will start rendering in. Look at our beautiful skyline here, all full. And that building definitely doesn't have as many lights as I thought it did. It's a crack like, as everyone went home. Oh yeah, can confirm everyone's went home. It's a shame though, because it's a mad little view of the Grafta split. Oh damn, I just put the 6x2 building on top of a 2x2 building, and it looks canny. I'm gonna leave it like that. But I am gonna delete these stacks of metal though. Let the hearses by. But with our industry regrowing there, why don't we go on the other side of the little digger's pool and connect up Autumn Street here to this side of the Gore Expressway. Because currently the only access on Autumn Street is our other bridge there, which is off the old for the expressway. I do still love this expressway though. Look at the fire truck coming down. Where's the fire? Where do you need to put it out, pal? I'll follow you round. Oh, there it is. Now to matter. Get it bloody splooshed. And how are you getting back? Are you going to go on the expressway and then left? I'm sure you are. I love this expressway, you know. It's so cool. And it actually looks good at that one intersection there. And that one intersection is all that matters. Oh, you know what we'll be able to do? We'll be able to actually see the emergency U-turn. Yeah, look at them going straight around. And then back here into his little fire hood. Right, now that I'm over an hour into the recording of this episode, let's actually build some bloody industrial estates. In the industrial estate. But not until we scope out these special industry buildings. Chemical plant can currently fit there. Dairy house easily fit there. Oh, the fuel plant could actually fit there. Ground earth, we can fit that in pretty much anywhere. Ooh, oil refineries massive. I don't know if I'll be able to fit that in. Definitely not there. Poppy ore factory. Ooh, it's even bigger. Farmer. Right, farmer's doing a switch on. And switch on's back up again. Now the vehicle factory I think is the biggest. Like, yeah, that's huge. Can I even fit it like over here? I can't even fit it over here. Alright, I definitely think we're going to be getting a vehicle factory squeezed in anywhere here. Unless we plop it in the farm. But if we plop it in the farm, how will we maintain a big, massive green bar? We're already selling with carrots and cotton just to buy grain with. I can't sacrifice more grain farm for a bloody vehicle factory. Oh, the chemical plant looks rather small now. What was the big one? Was it the oil refinery? Was it the fuel plant? Aye, the fuel plant. That was the one where I was like, that could fit rather nicely in here. The only thing is, it needs to fit rather nicely. Oh, this is a custom place building. Oh, mint. Well, you're not getting any zoning issues. I was going to say play nicely with the rest of these buildings, but I don't even have to worry about it. I do have to worry about the road, though. Well, the reason I plopped this down first is because, well, I was going to bring the road off here, but that would be quite the bloody road, wouldn't it, to get out of there? And I would be concerned about creating an intersection here, because you see how it removes the divider in the middle. But I know from experience that cars just do not care about the divider anyway. If the car's going to do an illegal U-turn, it's going to go straight over the concrete divider. So with that being said, let's get a road all the way along here. And then here now we need to quickly sort this out. Need dodginess. Especially need traffic lights. And I'm even going to say need crossing. And that's because I'm going to be popping a wee pedestrian path down. Well, pedestrian bridge. That snakes around the back of the crematoriums here. And connects on in nice and tidily like that. Now what's your issue, mate? Oh, bloody fences have regened. Be gone, fences. I suppose you just need a bit of a move it. Bit of a move it. Bit of a move it. Why weren't you whinging before, pal? You know what? I'm just going to move you over so like you're just actually not whinging. That's too far. That's really annoying that, you know. I think I don't care enough to actually do anything meaningful about it. So we're going to share this little bit of road here, move you forward until you stop whinging. And I truly do not care that you're going to be parking your vehicles on the path. I have learnt with City Skylines 2 that sometimes, for your own sanity, stop caring about it. But anywho, let's just casually connect our little line back in there. And you see now we've got mad access to this little industrial estate around the solar panel farm. And provided we can't fit any special buildings in here, which we certainly can here, let's zone it all to be industry. Apart from a very special guest, minus all the sub-elements out the back. And that's also going to need a bit of a rejig of that path and all. There we go. That's how you retrofit a path. Pop a 90-degree on it. Where's the path in all of its glory? I can't believe we got a big bloody commercial building in. Even if I do have to work around a little bit of surface shenanigans. Alright peeps, this is happening far too much. I'm obviously getting a tad too fancy with it. And it's 28 degrees inside now.
1 week later.
And there we finally have the proper pedestrian bridge in. There's no reason for pedestrians to go and cross in this bit of path now. Although I do need to sort through this dodgy little right turn. No way. I upgraded the harbour slips 2-lane road to come all the way back to the split here. So that makes a bit more sense. And I'm thinking with this bit of space here across from the hotel, we should have a little bit of a park, Gannon. Maybe a little bit of a square pocket park. Well, I like that. Peeps can come doing off the pedestrian bridge and just hang out in the little pocket park there. Now, next on the agenda, we've threatened it a couple of times now, but we're going to be diving into Arlie's signature buildings here. Like I say, probably not the bloody vehicle factory since we couldn't fit it anywhere along here without giving up heaps of farmland. And looking at these benefits, I want to try and get oil refinery, farmer and switch on first. Oil refinery? Why? That might fit our here where we got a big beach farm. I could pop it in here. I'm not outside city limits or anything like that. I mean, there's a lot more issues going on, but outside city limits certainly isn't one of them. Well, let's see how big farmer is. Ooh, it's not massive. That could potentially fit next to it there. Ooh, we might have to shift the bloody crematorium a bit, but we could fit it there. And I mean, let's get this out the way. You were never supposed to be zoned anyway, pals. Get off the bloody expressway. And then the other one I want to get popped doing is switch on. And that is a big laddie. It absolutely will near fit on the top here. And the only other bit of spots over here, and it's, definitely not fitting over here. I could pop it there, but I reckon that's going to block the oil refinery. And if I pop it here, it's going to do the very same thing. So I think we're going to have to pop the oil refinery doing first. And before I start exceeding city limits, I can go to here. That's not enough room for switch on. So, after a wee bit of land levelling, we can see how far we can push it on either side before we start exceeding city limits, which is about here. So I can nip me lines about halfway over there. Let's switch on hockey on. Plop a doon. Oh, that is huge, like. It's not as big as the solar farm, but the solar farm's day in work. I suppose the next biggest is switch on. Oh, it could fit here. Oh, it bloody just doesn't fit. Right, that crematorium's getting shifted. It's as simple as that. I think if I plop switch on here, we're not on the road, are we? Oh, look at that, eyeballing from the top. Bloody perfect. Now, we just need to make sure the horses can get in and out of here. And I'm not talking about these type of horses. And I feel like I definitely should have done this first, because that's as much as I can pop this over here without it going in the path there. You see, look at that eyeballing on the path, man. I love me bit of eyeballing, like. But we can't put it over any further than that. It's still... Oh, it's not connected. I need to put it even closer. Oh, well, with a bit of move it, that's as close as it's getting. It somehow has connections on there. And we're building still right on the edge. Is that a fox or a pig or what is going on in there? Imagine being a pedestrian walking through here and there's a chicken facing through the wall. And some pigs just... Oh, this is old mate with a bloody ocarina of time in it. Just hanging about on the tree at night. I'm just going to retreat into the crematorium. Why did the chicken cross the pathway? But so yeah, now we're going to have to do a little bit of moving with this little bit of switch on here. And look at that, we got a little bit of the hedge growing through the fence. But other than that, we are tickety-boo as far as switch on's concerned. It's a big old building and all, isn't it? You didn't really get the scale of it until you're shifting all the way through the trees here. I want to show you the other side because I popped a little support pillar on the corner here. Let's go out. Oh, I mean, I need to delete the hedges, but you'll see this support pillar is right on the corner, the painted line there. And at this point, the hearses should be turning anyway, so they shouldn't have to get bumped on the curb. There we go, and you can see it now. Just perfectly together there. There we go. We've got a big wide driveway now for the horses to go up. Let me real casually bulldoze some of this off the road / path. I tell you what, I'd be happy to walk down this path. I mean, you have to dodge some trees near the end, but that's not a matter, that one. Alright, so we've got 2 of the 3 big buildings we want in, of the industrial special variety. The other one was farmer. That's definitely not fitting over here anymore. Could I squeeze on here? Not quite, but it gets a bit wider over. Oh, I actually can. Right. Let's have a think about this. I want the road facing t'other direction. It definitely doesn't fit this way around. Now, if we can parallel with the Gore Expressway down there, we can go all the way back to bloody here before we start going outside city limits. That's just after the harbour slips. But first, we need to extend the landscaping once again. Oh, and I stopped bloody perfectly there. God, get off the screen, I just want to see the line. Look at that. Look how perfectly that stopped. Right, let's keep this in my eye, and then we'll try and do a ball. Not a bad little eyeball if I do say so myself. Now I got myself lined up with the Go Expressway. Let's go as far back as I can. Oh, right click instead of left clicking now, I'm not bloody lined up. What plop you doing? And how we looking? That is perfect. Big on fence, and I'm not even covering the road at all. So special industry buildings we've got remaining. Chemical plant, that is unfortunately too big to get in any available slots. The dairy house, that's nice and small. I could squeeze it along here somewhere. If I want to do a special access road, I could chuck it round the side. It'll even fit in this little spot up here. So dairy house, nowt's a matter. Fuel plant, we've got it. Ground earth, that's kind of small, that. Ground earth could fit quite nicely up there. Paper factory is massive. That's not getting plopped down. And that's it here. We've just got dairy house and ground earth. So ground earth easily fits here. Dairy house, less easily, and that's what I want. I'm lining up the dairy house the best I can, and I just want to clip it as it starts ganning round the bend. A little something like that. And I was looking at the fence. You see the fence there? Just as it starts ganning round the bend. Perfect. Oh, bloody hell, that leaves us about enough room for a road, doesn't it? Last but not least, we need to get ground earth on the gun. I mean, to be fair, I could just plop it there. Just have them all run here. But I did want to have a special industry building over here. And I'd say that fits the bill very nicely. We'll have to do a little bit of road rejigging here, but not overly concerned. We even have a wee gap here to connect this bit of road, if needed. But aye, that's that. That's all of the special industry buildings that we can actually plop in our little starting tile here. But divney fret, we're not done placing special buildings just yet. There's a few office buildings we couldn't get squeezed in over here because there was industry. Some of it even manually plopped. So all that's left here are city buildings. We've got the road maintenance depot, the park depot, and the Grafta split Eastern European modernist post office. And the bus depot as well, you know, you can't be forgetting. But now that we've cleaned out all the dirty industry that used to live here, and I'm pretty confident we didn't get the encasor firm up. I can barely read that, so that is probably very wrong. But it fits very right here. And then I believe the only other one we don't have is Principes. I remember squeezing one in over here, but I believe that's Coda Park. We've got Coda Park there. So let's say about squeezing a Principes in. Oh, it's bloody one too wide. I would love to squeeze it in there, but it's one too wide. And we've got our old grid system here. This is perfect. It doesn't need to be changed. I mean, I suppose we could pop it down there. I mean, technically, we could get another waterfall array, but I'm not drooping me skyscrapers. Well, not the ones I intentionally plopped down anyway. Oh, I actually plopped all of these down. Not the special ones, yes, not the special ones. Why are ye flooding, pal? Hello? Why are ye flooding? What is going on here? Is this road too low? Bloody, I need to do all the bloody... Oh no! This whole building's on the deck, man. Control H both of those. Up to the height of the road. Now, we shouldn't be flooding anymore. Now, old mate's farm can flood. He's used to being underwater, him. I'm just moving the whole road up as well, just to make sure it's all where it should be. And for the sake of the pedestrians coming through here, I might finally actually just bloody fill this bit of land here. Just a quick bloop, 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 bloop. All full up. No water here, please. And then the pedestrians won't have to go for a full-on swim when they want to go walking from one side of the Grafta split to the other here. I got the same issue over here and all. I got a bloody low corner on the road. And I think I might have found the culprit, like... Oh, I've extended out my landscaping past the city limits. And the water's having to find a new way round. Well, you can see where the old route was. It went straight through where switch-ons filled up the land. Well, I wonder if it'll flood this bit here. Start using this route of the river. Though this is properly flooded a bit, like. Just a bit. You know, I should go through with all of these buildings I placed, just to make sure they are at the same level as they should be. And yes, that does force all of this stuff that I deleted to reappear. Now, before we pop roads into all of these special industry buildings, let's wrap up the office bit. High density offices, all the way in here. And yes, I paused. There's a reason. I want to pop wide pocket parks all the way down this bit of zoning here. That way, we don't get any offices zoning on the expressway. So you know how I said I didn't want to plop down multiple of the same thing? The Twin Tower fits bloody perfectly there. It even saves us a bit of park upkeep for the wide pocket park. Now, are the rest of the officers going to play nice? Or am I going to have to manually plop down some more years? I mean, to be fair, it's only this spot that could potentially spawn on the Go Expressway. Why didn't I just plop that one building down? I found it. That can be a little landscape for the corner. And I make sure it's on Buckthorn Lane there, not the Gore Expressway. Oh, no way. Are you leaving me a row where I could just be like, plonk all of these down? Indeed. I got 3 whites, 3 blues, and a black in the middle. Oh, it looks ridiculous. I love it. Right. Let's actually get the road situated over here. I'll start over here because it's by far the easiest one. I just need to real casually get myself a back alley lane and connect it in. Delete the stub and we're done. Well, maybe with a little bit of move at magic we can be done. Are you happy with that? No. Are you happy with that? Yes. And now let's check the road lines here. We'll scooch it out so it's not interfering with the crematorium here. And I am happy with ground earth churning it up there. Now, well, actually, could I pop a road all the way through and it not really bother the old crematorium and that? I'd say that's a way high. Look at that. The line is actually not over the crematorium. Right, perfect. Means I can squeeze some buildings in here. Look at all of that zoning that just freed themselves up there. Speaking of zoning, let's sort this out with my little zoning toolkit. I want to upgrade this bit of road to have no zoning on it. At least as much as I can there. For the remainder, we're just going to have to plot paths down. The old-fashioned way. Our industry, zone yourselves in there. Oh, that is... Ooh, that felt good. Super satisfying because it filled up all of the available squares. Don't you dare. I think you'll find I'm plopping you down. I don't even care if you didn't like your new zoning. Well, that's Harbour Lane, properly industry in a way. We just need to create a whole new road on the beach here. And unlike this bit of the expressway, where we're coming off one lane splitting into 2, I think over here, because we're going straight into switch on, we're going to have to go immediately into a 2-lane road. And now, let's be clever and see... look, switch on doesn't actually need any roads over here, or at least from the bulldozer view. The roads are all up here, and down here. That's actually kind of perfect because, well, imagine the acute turn we'd have to go up to get there. So we connect on, just past the crematorium, we're going to go up out to switch on's level, and then level out by the time we get to the main entrance there. Oh, it's happy, and it looks alright. That's not too bad, that. And look, a little bit of zoning right on the edge. The worst place for it, but technically not the expressway. And actually, you know what? I just realised this can actually become an expressway, like it is run the back. 4-lane, 2-way highway. Let's get you upgraded. Oh, no, that's right. 4-lane divided road. Get upgraded. Traffic lights and crossings be gone. And to be fair, same hour here. Traffic lights, crossings, be gone. I'm tempted to leave this crossing right, purely because I'm probably going to put something in that little corner. For now, I'm going to leave it like that. Alright, so this is where it gets fun. We need to come from here, hit this bit of road, come up, hit this bit of road, gone across to hit this bit of road here, then scoot around to hit this bit of road, and eventually gone and hit this bit of road connection here, which I think requires all the way up to the bloody expressway there. Not ideal. Now, to make this a little bit easier, let's get the farm out the way. Ah yes, there's nothing quite like working with surfaces through a building. Now, it was successfully extracted all the sand from the beach, and the poor farmer's only got this little strip to go along. I mean, he's making the most of it, didn't get us wrong. Mildly protesting, we have to keep replacing fences, but it's cheaper than buying the entire farm off them. We're from the loophole. Now let us see how we can do about getting all of this runned while keeping everyone happy. That's certainly not how you do it. You know what I just thought? We don't actually have to connect this bit here to the main road. We could have the main road schneck off a little something like that. Oh, and of course you need a bit of road. How wee, man. But I'm going to stubbornly crack on with this anyway until I can go down underground with it, right underneath the harbour, to real casually connected like that. And once I remove all the dodgy U-turns and that, and sure it's got correct priority, we're bloody laughing. And I did switch down to 1 lane there underground. I should have also switched down the second we start ganning down. Now what, for here, I'm tempted to just do a tiny little one-way alley. Like, think about it. You come off here, you just go straight to there, and then you just come straight back on. Proper little 88-degree number. I like that. Big access road vibes. And if I like that, I'm going to continue doing it. Now, you might have already guessed it, but the next point we're coming off is where the lanes can do into one. I just want to have a real casual come off it like that, and then we'll do a nice tidy right turn. Straight road it all the way to here. Hope we can pull out a nice tidy right turn without connecting into the expressway. I like that. And then just skirt our way along the expressway as close as we can without connecting in. And then after that, it's just as simple as coming back down, you know? And that is a lovely little plonker zoning. Apart from ye can be commercial. But yeah, nah, I think we need to sort this bit of road out just a tad. Some mild road rejigging later. It looks alright. I managed to squeeze in a bloody 4x2 commercial lot there, and it just all works out nicely. The only thing I think we need to do here to be nice to these peeps is get some sound barriers on this bloody expressway. Both sides. Alright, now, if there's some sort of accident, you're not going to have a car flying through into your business. Well, I suppose there's not much else left to do than get zoning. All the industry ruined here, with the odd bit of commercial plopped here and there. And I'm not having this. We are going to be zoning some industry in this green square. We're going to be doing that with one of our patent pending back alley industrial estates. Now look at that beaut. We can fit so much industry in Deerhurst Lane. It even gives another crossing point for pedestrians on Industrial Street. And instead of yous whinging about not having sewage and water, I'm going to plop down me own building. So you pop a massive building in there, and it doesn't matter, it fits perfectly. There's even enough room for a couple of canopy-covered parks there for the Graftas and switch on in the oil refinery. Unlike here, where the only reason we can fit in a tiny park is because we can put it on sideways on the corner. And that is plenty more industry than that we had earlier. I might even be tempted, you know, to put something here. Maybe a bit of a pathway for pedestrians to cut across Deerhurst Lane. And with our new fancy industry plopped in, I think there's only one thing left to do. Give the farmer his bit land back. Oh, aye, and zone the bloody high-density offices over here. Not forget me high-density offices back round here either. And there it is, you can see it. Everything that's sand is the beach farm. The tractors have got loads of room to get by. Didn't mind the big steep hills. That's why they got big old tyres on them. I do love how they just pop buildings in wherever they can. So like over here next to the harbour we've got some buildings. We've got some access beaches. And then we're going to have more buildings. Up this little triangle where I've put the farm up in between Fig Firma. The horses have been relocated behind the crematorium. That's lovely. And how's our offices coming along here? Not flooding. That is great. That's what we want to see. What about the offices that we put in round the back here? Are they flooding? Ah, we're looking alright. No floods just yet. Don't mind me, I'm just plopping in a mad little French office because nothing else will zone there. But anywho, I wanted to get all of these on because we need to finish the key. How can we protect our offices and farms from flooding if we've got no bloody key? So let me real casually complete this key and check backwards. And our farmers loving all of this new land that they've got here to farm on. Even if I did forget to take this one little bit of fence away, look at him, God, he's all out of the road and pathway. There we go, we got the fences sorted. And you can see with key on the left, it sticks out. It's giving this farm plenty of safety and security from the floods. Speaking of floods, if we have a look over here, the water is in fact using that secondary passage. It's taking up the whole bridge now. I feel like slashing a third arch on the side just to make it all... Oh, look at that turd. That turd is really showing with the water slowing down. But now that the water level's up a bit, hopefully that turd can start flowing out to sea. And I did make sure there's one bit of key ends up being a bridge, so you know, said turds could flow straight out. Anyway, let's get away from here. Bloody stinks. Look at this guy. Look at him go. Oh, he's on a proper roller coaster there, isn't he? Well, if it would stop lagging, you'd be able to see he's on a proper roller coaster. Hey, right. Let's have a look at the rest of our bloody quayside here. We've went all the way out, all the way along, and all the way into the harbour. Look at how cleanly that all connects in there. The boat's different headed on out. I do need to do a little bit of landscaping, you know, just to make the quays a bit more quay. But I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to extend... Oh, the old river passage actually used to just go through land. But yeah, I'm still not going to cheat. I'm not going to do any terraforming outside me city tiles. Even this bit here, which is really annoying, isn't it? I could probably fix. But, nah, It's outside city limits. And one last thing we've been needing to do for many episodes is fix this dodgy bit of track here. I'm just gonna route it around the motorway like that, cross it over. It should be a lot smoother than this bloody schnecky ziggy zaggy thing. Oh, you can see all the ants. I mean, pedestrians going home from work. Well, that's a bonus surprise for moving the railway, innit? There we go. That train bypass looks a lot better than it bloody did before. I'm actually happy with that. And look at how bloody efficiently our buses take our grafters home. And since we've crammed in as much industry as I'm happy to over here, I'm going to re-expand the stone pit to go all the way through all the zoning, make it look all fancy and that. Now that looks more like an old stone mine. And there is a reason we're paused, don't worry, there's a reason. And that reason is so we can get on a bus from the Grafta split all the way back to the living split, because with our chock-a-block industrial estate we have a huge demand for housing and really not that much space for it. So we're gonna have to get very creative in the next episode of Split City. But until then, have yourselves a lovely time and a doodaloo.